Bring it to me."
She didn't ask for a priest. She asked for the block.
Like this. Is this what they want?
Most queens fight for a throne. For Catherine Howard, the throne was a trap she was forced into before she could even understand the rules. Catherine Howard was pushed toward one. A teenage girl placed at the center of a political game she barely understood, until the axe was already falling. The king has noticed you. This is not a question. You will go to court. You will be agreeable. And you will remember who you serve. Catherine wasn't raised to rule. She was raised to survive. In the Howard family, survival was a calculation. Affection mattered only when it protected you. To Norfolk, Catherine was not a child to protect. She was an opportunity arriving at exactly the right moment. And opportunities could be sacrificed. If I fail them, I disappear. For Catherine, agreeable wasn't a personality trait, it was armor. She grew up in a house with too few rules and too many secrets. A dangerous education for a girl who would one day stand beside Henry VIII. The Dowager Duchess's household was crowded, unsupervised, and filled with young people learning adult games far too early. Privacy barely existed. Boundaries existed even less. Nobody ever explained what counted as danger, only what counted as shame. And those were not the same thing. You will not fail. And if I do, then pray the king loses interest before he loses patience. Men survive his disappointment. Women rarely do. At court, Catherine learned something horrifying. A queen could be surrounded by people and still vanish completely. The Tudor court settled political disagreements with silk sleeves, whispered rumors, and occasional executions. Nothing says romance quite like stolen monastery gold and a husband old enough to remember your childhood. Henry VIII expressed affection the way Tudor kings expressed most things, loudly, expensively, and with catastrophic long-term consequences. By the time Catherine Howard entered Henry's orbit, England had already watched one queen discarded and another beheaded. But Catherine was young, warm, playful. After years of illness, executions, and political exhaustion, Henry didn't just see a girl, he saw relief. You smile as though the world has never disappointed you. Perhaps it simply has not caught me yet. Henry was nearly 50. Catherine was still in her teens. The age gap was less a marriage and more a historical crime scene. But at court, discomfort mattered less than advantage. A girl became a queen, and an ambitious family believed it had finally won. They bowed when I entered. They smiled when I spoke. For the first time in my life, I thought perhaps I had become someone impossible to discard. That may have been the most dangerous thought she ever had, because at Henry's court, the higher you rose, the further you could fall. Catherine Howard mistook attention for safety, but Henry's favor was as unstable as his health. One infected leg wound, one whispered doubt, one rival sensing weakness, and suddenly the Queen's smile no longer comforted the king.
"My lord, shall I stay?"
No! Go!
The room felt colder. It wasn't only rejection. It felt like standing too close to a cliff and realizing the ground beneath me had started to crack. As Henry's world narrowed to the size of his own pain, Catherine realized the palace walls were no longer protecting her. I see the way he looks toward the door when I enter. He isn't looking for me anymore. He's wondering if someone else would make him happier. To the kingdom, she was Queen of England. To Catherine, she was still a frightened girl trying not to be abandoned. She thought she was finding a friend in Culpepper. She didn't realize she was leaving a trail of paper that would eventually lead her to the tower. And in the freezing silence left behind by the king's rejection, Thomas Culpepper became the only warmth left in the palace. She didn't go to him for a thrill. She went for a witness. The king doesn't want to see me anymore. He's in pain, my lady. Pain makes men cruel. To a lonely girl, a few kind words could feel like rescue, because Catherine understood something terrible. The king's love was not just affection, it was protection. If he stops loving me, I disappear, and everyone around me disappears too. I just need someone to stay. Whether Culpepper pitied her, desired her, or simply enjoyed being the man a queen whispered to in secret, even he may not have known. You sent for me. Men had died for standing too close to Henry's queens, but court survival had a way of making clever men believe they were untouchable. For Catherine, sympathy became indistinguishable from safety, and Culpepper was reckless enough to remain near her. Quickly, before the servants changed shifts, Jane Boleyn, Lady Rochford, understood court survival better than most. Unfortunately, surviving the execution of one queen does not necessarily prepare you for helping another commit treason. Every whispered meeting tightened the knot around all their necks. Thomas Cranmer possessed the deeply unfortunate appearance of a man apologizing while quietly arranging someone's destruction. And now he held information capable of destroying the Howard family forever. This was never only about Catherine. To Cranmer, Catherine's family were enemies of the new church he was building. To protect his power, he didn't need an army. He just needed to destroy one girl. The accusations began with whispers from Catherine's past. Francis Derham, a former lover, a man who talked too much in a court where silence was usually the healthier choice. Now Cranmer held a secret capable of destroying a queen. The question was whether he would place it before a king who was finally happy. No, I don't believe it. This must be investigated. Cranmer wasn't searching for innocence. He was searching for the exact word that would make her death legal. Catherine Howard, you are commanded to answer for treason. Treason, but I did what I was told. Cranmer did not merely want a confession, he wanted the Howard family haunted by her forever. Derham has confessed, Catherine. He claims you were promised to him before God before you ever saw the king. Admit it, and your marriage to Henry was never lawful. You would lose your crown, but you might keep your life. No, there was no promise. Cranmer was offering her the one escape still available, but Catherine Howard had spent her entire life being taught how to remain pure, and in her panic, she chose reputation over survival. He came to my bed in the dark, but I never gave him my word. I never promised him marriage. Think carefully. I didn't understand the rules. I was a girl in a house where nobody cared what happened to me. I thought if the king believed I belonged only to him, he would forgive me. Please, tell him I never wanted to hurt him. I'm frightened. I'll sign whatever you want. It was the cruelest irony of Catherine Howard's life. In trying to preserve her honor, she destroyed the one legal defense that might have saved her. She chose to become a pure queen, condemned for treason, instead of an imperfect girl who had never legally been queen at all. By the time she understood the difference, the ink was already dry. The servants won't meet my eyes anymore. I keep trying to remember my uncle's rules, but none of them explain what happens after the king stops loving you. I kept waiting for someone to come save me, for my family, for anyone, but the only sound was my own heart, like a bird trapped inside a wall. While Catherine sat alone in terror, the trap was closing around the only man who had shown her kindness. Did you lie with the queen? No. But I would have. In Tudor England, desire alone could become evidence. Culpepper was executed. You said this was for the family. The man who placed her beside the throne did not save her from it. Norfolk survived because powerful men at Henry's court often did. The women around them rarely received the same courtesy. The crowd expected tears or a confession. History remembers the blood on the scaffold, but the most haunting moment of Catherine Howard's life happened the night before her execution. Bring it to me. She requested the block itself, the heavy piece of oak where her neck would rest, because Catherine Howard was terrified of failing one final time. The girl taught her entire life to please other people, spent her final hours rehearsing how to die correctly. Like this. Is this what they want? I was never meant to survive this. At the Tudor court, Catherine Howard spent her life learning how to make powerful people happy. The night before her death, she finally understood something devastating. No one had ever intended to protect her. Catherine Howard was not destroyed by one man. She was consumed by a system built by many. In the court of Henry VIII, a queen was not always a ruler. Sometimes she was simply the price of someone else's ambition.